starting a little bit later than I had planned to, but yeah, coming off of my first run through Bloodborne, I decided to return to a little bit more familiar territory for me. Dark Souls 2 has probably seen, well, I'm not sure it's seen the most play of any Souls game for me, but it's the one that I kind of think most fondly of because I really enjoy the multiplayer experience and the PvP experience and that sort of
Perhaps
thing.
you've seen it. Maybe in a dream.
But this
A
is going to be a
murky,
PvE run.
forgotten land.
This is kind of cool cutscene, so I'll just let you guys take it in.
A place where souls may mend your ailing mind. You will lose everything. Once branded. The symbol of the curse. An augur of darkness. Your past, your future, your very light. None will have meaning, and you won't even care. By then, you'll be something other than human. A thing that feeds on souls, a hollow. Long ago, in a walled-off land far to the north, a great king built a great kingdom. I believe they called it Drang Lake. Perhaps you're familiar. No, how could you be? But one day, you will stand before its decrepit gate without really knowing why. Like a moth drawn to a flame. Your wings will burn in anguish. Time after time. For that is your fate. The fate of the cursed.
So yeah, I actually always kind of appreciated how Dark Souls 2 is on a little bit less grand of a scale story-wise than Dark Souls or Dark Souls 3. You can kind of think if Dark Souls was the story of dragons and lords and that sort of thing, Dark Souls 2 is really more of a story of men, which is kind of cool.
What seems to be the ruckus?
Oh my, your face. The face of the curse. It's an undead. An undead has come to play. They all end up here. All the ones like you. You spoke to that kind old dear, didn't you?
You're finished. You'll go hollow. Yes, you'll become one of them.
Hollows prey upon men, feast upon their souls. This is the fate of the cursed.
What is your name?
That's a good question. Are you sure of your name? No. That's kind of heavy.
At least you know your own name. Here's your reward for sharing. It's a human effigy.
Take a closer look.
Who do you think it's supposed to be? Think back, deep into your past. Yes, it's an effigy of you.
Alright. We start with the knight, because the knight's the best. Healing wares is the best gift. Body, don't really care. Face, looks fine.
All people come here for the same reason, to break the curse.
You're no different, I should think. Doesn't stand a chance.
Well, you never know. Go through the door and trot along to the kingdom. But remember, hold on to your souls. They're all that keep you from going hollow. Oh, I'll fool you no longer. You'll lose your souls. All of them. Over and over again.
So yeah, the very first thing I always do is head back where I came, because there's a very nice ring back here. You've got to kill the Cyclops in order to get it. Fortunately, he's pretty easy to bait into just using this sitting attack over and over again. Although he is behaving very strangely on this one. Kind of rotating the place a lot more. There we go. So yeah, the stone ring is pretty excellent because it increases the amount of poise damage your weapon does, so makes it easier to break enemies' stance and stun them. Which is nice until you get some heavier weapons. Haven't really decided what weapons I'm going to use on this run yet, but let's see here. Did I? Yes, I did pick up the gold pine resin. It's also convenient because the Cyclops drops 1,000 souls, and I'm going to want 1,500 by the time I get to Majula, so I can buy a shield. Fortunately, these hollows in the tutorial area offer just about that many. I love the backstab animations. The dagger is pretty fantastic because it has an incredibly high critical bonus. Like, it can one-shot some pretty tough enemies off of riposte early on in the game. It's also a perfect weapon to use along with the stone ring, because it is very, very fast and uses not very much stamina. I'm getting hit a lot more than I typically do. But yeah, overall definitely a good choice.
You, give us food. Yes, you, give us.
Okay. Not a terrible gift from the crows there. On some runs I've been very lucky and gotten the white ring to drop as the very first trade item with the crows. And that's fun because you can use it to screw with people during invasions. Sometimes if you get lucky, one of these basilisks will jump off and kill itself, lending you some souls. But it's not a huge deal, we can just pop one of the souls that we picked up in the area. Got some cleric gear there. Got the binoculars. Dual inventory shuffling here. Yeah!
Or merely a pawn of fate. Bearer of the curse, I will remain by your side till this frail hope shatters. Take this with you. May it ease your journey.
God, I love Ruth Negga. She is such a fantastic actress.
Go on and see the king. He who made Drangleic what it once was. He who peered at the essence of the soul. King Vendrin.
You're undead, aren't you?
Yep.
You have that distinct scent.
Rude.
The smell of irreversible fate. This is Majula. It is a kind of settlement. A place where life is almost normal. And in Drangleic these days, there are very few places like that. I am Solden. And like you, I lost everything, and now I'm here. You probably heard that it was possible to break the curse here. Well, that's not true at all.
Shit.
There's nothing here for you, me, or anybody. Do you know much about souls?
Yeah.
Even I'm not certain, but I'm told that the soul is the essence of life itself. Anything living, sentient or no, supposedly has one. What we call the curse is traceable to the soul. Do you see what that means? To be alive, to walk this earth. That's the real curse, right there. We undead will never die. And that's quite a predicament, really.
Sort of a melancholy fellow.
There are 4 beings in this land with giant souls. And wherever you go from here, you'll sooner or later come up against them. Each has a powerful soul. And a terrible curse. If that frightens you, then you ought to just give up right now. Like I have.
Selden would be the best motivational speaker.
Do you ever cry out for help? The journey of an undead is long and treacherous. You'll face invaders from other worlds at every turn. If you need help, why not proclaim faith in the Blue Sentinels? When you face danger, the Blue Sentinels will come to your aid. Protection is yours, if you wish. You need only accept their kind embrace.
Of course.
That is a wise decision. People are weak, but the Blue Sentinels watch over us in their benevolence. Let the Sentinels cradle you in their embrace. Do you feel lonely here? It suits me just fine, as I've nothing left anyway. It will grow on you, this place. Give it some time. May you find peace on your journey.
I will positively eat my metaphorical hat if I see even one blue sentinel during this playthrough. Because boy, every time I have played in that Covenant, I have worn that damn ring for hours on end. I think I got summoned maybe twice in like 400 hours. So, but stranger things have happened, I suppose. No, maybe not.
Oh, that much time
whoops.
remaining. Just about ready to fall apart, I'd say. Not exactly the time to be chatting with a cat.
So, yeah, I'm not actually talking to a wall.
Suit yourself.
It's just that if the
yes.
NPC,
You may call me Sherlock.
depending on where she spawns,
On
you can actually
Sherlock
interact
Way.
with her through the wall.
So, what did you want anyway?
This small cat.
Ooh, you smell wonderful.
So she doesn't have anything I want right now, but she
Nothing
eventually
suited you,
will.
I presume. Well, that's dismaying.
So yeah, kind of entertaining that. Here's what she looks like when you don't talk to her through the wall. Just literally a small cat. Anyway, we click the guy who is the metaphorical representation of the player right here. Because he's got an Estus Flask Shard. And now we go buy a shield.
Hello there. Welcome to my shop. I'm Morlin, and I sell armor. Oh, sorry, Please do have a look at my wares. I could really use the business. If you'd be so kind.
Salesman of the century right here.
Thanks very much. And do please come again.
So the main reason you purchase that shield, number one, it's one of the best light shields in the game. And number two, it is exactly expensive enough to trigger Mullen selling the armor set that I want to use for the game. So in order to get that quickly, I'm going to do something that's a little bit different than most people do. Most people will run to Forest of Fallen Giants, because that's where the game tells you to go first. I like to do Hades Tower of Flame first for a couple of reasons, namely that it is very easy to get a lot of souls rapidly. It's a cool area. It's definitely one of the better looking areas in the game. Uh, doesn't really have a whole lot of interesting lore, unfortunately. It's just kind of there, but whatever. It's also short as hell. Like, you can run past all the enemies at this point. They will all aggro on you, but they're pretty slow, so they can't really do much about it. Alright, here's how you win Dark Souls. Hardest game in the world. So yeah, now we'll talk to this pleasant figure.
Are you from these parts? My name is Lycia. I have come to spread the art of miracles, a practice of which I am a disciple. I can see that you are well suited to comprehend their wondrous power.
Really? Have you seen my faith stat?
The cost of it. That's for your heart to decide. I'd heard awful rumors about this place, and I'm afraid they were all true.
What rumors?
The king, gone. The earth, ravaged. The burden on the people weighs heavy. I fear that, by now, they may have scarce room in their hearts for miracles. Why did I come here? Well... do I need any other reason than to spread the gospel of miracles? My preceptor always said this art should be shared with the world. And such is my only wish.
Preceptor's a good word. I should make an effort to work it into conversation.
Sometimes I fight the urge to pack up and go back home. It is... well... I must do this. And being out here all alone only makes this a more fitting test of my fortitude. I expected this cathedral to be bustling, but there's hardly a soul to be found here. Without any goings-on, I'll have to move soon. To a place I could gull them. Sorry, help the gullible by teaching the good word.
Seems kinda suspicious.
No need for miracles. The gods frown upon such soul scrimpers.
I certainly hope she doesn't become hostile later on. Alright, and with the souls that we got from cheesing Dragon Rider, we can now go by the best set in Soul's history. It's the best set in every game.
I was hoping that you would come. I've stocked some new things, and I thought that you might be interested. They've been selling rather well, and I may step up operations soon.
Oh, really? Good for you.
Well, I'm surprising even myself, to be honest.
So yeah, good ol' Elite Knight set.
Thanks very much. Do come again.
And have to take off this ring for a little while until I get my vitality up. It's just such a good looking set. That blue surcoat, chainmail, nice helm, everything about it's
Bearer
good.
of the curse, seek misery. For misery will lead you to greater, stronger souls. You will never meet the king with a soul so frail and pallid. Seek those whose names are unutterable, the four endowed with immense souls. Their souls will serve as beacons. Once you have found them, return here to me, so that hope will not fade away. Is that a shard you found?
Indeed it is.
Here, let me see it, so that I may help you. To see light, to see hope, however faint it might be.
Okay. So now that I am feeling equipped in a knightly fashion, I will head to the area that you're technically supposed to do first. Could have sworn that I could sneak up on that guy. I guess I just got sloppy. Very sloppy there. Ooh, jeez. Oh, wow, this is... Wouldn't be a stream if I didn't screw up and die in a stupid way. At least you dropped a firebomb, that'll be useful in a minute. That is the worst I have done in that section in literal years. The riposte animations are so good as well.
Oh, come now, help an old woman. My name is Melentia. You're a stranger to this land.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we get as strangers these days. Everybody's gone and run off. Dranglake's been a pile of rubble since the war, thought long, long ago. And the giants crossed the sea. Seemed like the battles would never end. Poor folk like myself had nary a place to sleep. I swear I'll keep all me things right with me. You may travel light, but methinks you bear a burden of your own.
God, her back must be in terrible shape.
They say these trees grew from the remains of the giants. From each carcass sprouted new life growing into what you see now. But you know what they also say? Don't believe what an old hag says. It's high time that I pick up and move. I've a bargain for you next time we meet my lover.
A bargain?
Thank you kindly.
Now, technically this door up ahead is locked. You need a key to unlock it, but if you'll notice, it's in really terrible condition. So you can just break it down. Kill a crystal lizard, get some titanite. There's quite a decent weapon pretty close by to this area, but it's kind of this game's equivalent of the Drake Sword, in that it's a real noob indicator. Everybody uses it, so I'm not going to bother picking it up. Wow. Yeah, it's really strange. I've never played this game with a DualShock 4 before. I've only ever used like an Xbox controller or Steam controller, that sort of thing, so it's kind of strange getting used to the dead zones on these sticks, the overall different feel. It could just be me imagining things, but the input lag feels a little different. So I'm kinda having to readjust. It's not a huge difference, but it's enough to notice, which is kind of throwing me a little bit. Doing things like parrying too early, parrying too late. It's probably all in my head, but whatever. There's always a giant rolling rock. I love it. Hey, friend.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just daydreaming, I think. My name is Kale. I'm a traveler, like yourself. I'm navigating the continent to create a map. Why cartography, you ask? Well, that's a good question. When I first came to this forsaken land, it was... a curse? Something about a curse? How embarrassing. I seem to have lost my focus. But I do know one thing for certain. I have always been very fond of maps. I came to this land some time ago. Drangleic, the Lost Kingdom. It sounded so romantic. Have you seen Majula? Oh, there's a rather spacious mansion there. I've made it my temporary home. Well, as something of a squatter, I'm afraid. Inside the mansion, I found a strange map, like none I'd ever seen. I believe that it's a map of Drangleic. Now I'm traveling the land to prove it. Yes, that's it. That's why I came to the kingdom. Wait, no, that wasn't it. Then what? I don't seem to recall. Were you looking for that map? Wonderful. Then you're fascinated by maps, just like me. Shame on you. You should have told me before. Here, take this. A key to the mansion. What a joy to meet a kindred spirit out here. Incredible, really, isn't it? Such a map to be chiseled in stone. Oh, but one thing. I would not venture deep into the mansion. Now, I can't be certain, but I've heard disturbing noises. Something about it feels wrong. Just be careful, please. I'll be back in Majula soon. Perhaps we will meet again and discuss maps at our leisure.
I like Kale. He's total bro. this is actually rather interesting for me, too, because it's been such a long time since I've actually listened to what any of the NPCs said. So it's kind of like playing the game for the first time for me. Ah, damn it. Knocked it down. Well, shit. This... I got myself into a rather nasty situation entirely of my own making. So I'm just gonna run. Throw that. And rest. I was trying to bait the old knight into swinging his hammer and detonating the powder keg, but sometimes he doesn't like to cooperate. I love this. Man, whoever owns this mansion must have been a riot, because, like, who owns large books like this? I mean, can you imagine how much that thing weighs? Here's the map of Drang Lake. Looks suspiciously like a hat, if you ask me. Oh, spooky, scary skeleton. Best thing about Dark Souls 2 versus Dark Souls is that you can respec with the Soul Vessel, which makes subsequent playthroughs a lot more fun. Alright, and now we can unlock this door.
Is that a shard you found? Here to see, however.
just a couple souls shy where I want to be. But I've got some drops. Not really concerned about soul memory on this run.
Seek soul, seek lest this.
Alright, time to go purchase the weapons that I want.
You, stand back. This is dangerous work. The name's Lenigrast, just a simple blacksmith. And you are, another useless traveler. A man ought to labor with his feet planted firmly in the earth. Not roam around like you flirtatious vagabonds.
Flirtatious vagabond?
What does it matter? Go on, show me what you've got.
Them's is fighting words, good sir.
But do it quick. I'll be around if you make it back.
Now we're good to have some fun. Alright. Just... because this guy can prove to be annoying for what I'm about to do next. And he misses again. There we go. So yeah, that's a boss. Just that in that particular event, he doesn't have a big health bar. If he kills you there, you fight him later on. Oh, wow, that was supremely fucking stupid. Okay, so first death of the run. But yeah, it's he is kind of a tough enemy if you don't know his weakness, which is his left side, which is extremely vulnerable. But he's good to kill early on because he drops a lot of souls and a really good ring. So extremely worthwhile. Let me get killed again by low-level mobs. I didn't think that it would actually happen. Fuck me. Wow, I'm just being incredibly dumb right now. Probably makes it more entertaining for the viewer, though. So this time I'm just gonna pick up the items and run. God, that was so stupid. I cannot believe that I died twice to trash mobs.
I knew you. I'll be around. What? I'll be around if...
Is that a shop? Here, to see luck. However...
Alright. I will be back in just a moment. Alright, and back. I do not understand how these big streamers can go hours on end without having to take a leak. Maybe I just have a tiny bladder? I don't know. Anyway, now we've got, between the longsword and the mace, the three primary damage types, strike, slash, and thrust. Got our bases covered, so exploit all those weaknesses.
Oh, hello there. An honor to see you again. This room is not as it seems. There are two, not one pathways leading out. And only this lovely thing reveals the other path. And this, you lovely thing, only runs on miracles. Shall I provide you with one?
Yes, yes, provide me with a miracle.
May the power of miracles be with ye. Offer your souls to the gods.
So I'm not going to do this area yet, but it is helpful to open up a path. I'm still slightly over encumbered. So just for the time being, since I've taken out most of the heavy armor, just drop that. Getting hit a whole lot more than I typically do. What I hate about that trio in particular is they use moves that the weapon they're using, the Bastard Sword, does not have. Like, it is not a thrusting weapon. It does not have a thrusting attack. Oh boy, a Titanite slab already. Yeah, this game is not stingy with upgrade materials. This is actually one of my favorite little mechanics in this area because I think it's clever. So the door doesn't open from that side, but what you can do is make a little noise. And these friends come out. Oof. fun thing. You can operate the ballista here. And shoot it into the powder kegs to blow up some unsuspecting enemies in there. One of whom always drops the winged spear. Sometimes both of them do. That'll be fun if I feel like power stancing spears later. So, this part I'm gonna do backwards, because it's easier. There's no way you can outrun that gate. I've tried so many times. So we talked to this fine upstanding NPC.
Well, I see you managed to escape. I wanted to warn you of the trap down the way, but you walked right past me. My name is Pate.
Definitely not Patches.
I journey hither and thither on a sort of treasure hunt, you might call it. Be careful out there. There's talk of unsavory bandits who prey upon travelers, like yourself.
You wouldn't know anything about those bandits, would you?
But you should take this. It allows undead to call out for help to one another across the fissures between worlds. With luck, somebody will lend you a hand. Good to see you safe.
I love Pate because he's just the most ambiguously evil gentleman. Crossbow, probably not going to use that ever, but whatever. Another clever thing there, use of the strong shadow casting. So the enemy's invisible, but still casts a shadow, so you kill it and get an item. Pretty clever. My instinct is to always plunging attack this guy, but the hitboxes are really suspect on it, so it's really easy to miss. Oh shit! I did not know those enemies could parry me. It's just, I'm learning all sorts of new stuff. That's what I like about this game, even after as much as I've played it, which is a lot. It can still surprise me. Ah, mild-mannered Pate. He's here to help me out. I love the boss intro cutscenes in this game. This guy's... well, I mean, he's the first real boss, so it's not like you would expect him to be hard or anything, but he's pretty damn easy. Still, every once in a while, I do something stupid. Like that. But I love this. He rips his arm off, he's gonna try to beat me to death with it. Alright, now there are a couple new areas we can go. There are a couple cool things back here. I'm probably not going to use them, but whatever. Pickups is pickups. No real point in fighting that guy yet, because I can't get past that door yet. These guys, weak to thrust. Good to have a thrusting weapon. Royal Soldier set is a really nice armor set, though. It looks very cool. So, this is the area where I would have fought the Pursuer, the big armored dude with the great shield and great sword, if I didn't kill him in the first encounter. It can be kind of a tricky fight, but one of the cool things is you'll notice the two ballista here. If you parry him at the right spot, you can actually run back here and fire the ballista, and that'll take out almost all of his health in one shot. Just cool little secret there. And speaking of cool little secrets, down here we have actually one of the best armor sets in the game, as well as a very nice shield and greatsword. I'm probably not going to use any of them because they're a little heavy for my taste, but still very cool that you can get some solid equipment this early in the game. Oh, what's this? A bird's nest? I wonder what I'm supposed to do with it. So, that's pretty cool. One of two ways to get to the Lost Bastille. And the reason that we like coming that way is because of this, which is a very important item. Get some more upgrade material. So, I've got a friend who, due to the Souls games, he's very fond of saying, kill all the dogs. Well, in this area, you can do just that with a rather lovely explosion. And what's this? It's the Pursuer again! He actually pursues. So yeah, he's good because he drops Twinkling Titanite, which is useful for upgrading unique weapons. got a pretty okay ring and a useful key item. So yeah, that mace plus stone ring combo pretty much staggers everything.
What is it? I don't know you, and you don't know me. Things are better that way. You are an odd one. Normally, people keep a safe distance when they see this mask. But you... I'm called Lucatil. From the land of Mira to the far east, across the mountains. They say Drang Lake brims with powerful souls. And so I came to claim my share. But what a strange place. Even the rumors did not prepare me. You are an odd one indeed. I've always made a point of avoiding people, while you've made a point of engaging me. I can see that you are mid-journey. If you require assistance, I will help you. I come from Mira, a land of knights. My sword is always ready. Don't hesitate to call upon me. Whatever happens, I won't be missed.
Lucatil has one of my favorite NPC quest lines in the Souls series. It's not particularly difficult to do, it's very straightforward, but it tells a good story. So I am a fan. Ah, damn it. I did not want to break that. Oh well, we'll just come back to it later. At this point, I am going to bone out. Probably end up coming back from the other entrance.
For dead. Almost had me worried, really.
Okay, so 4 shards need to buy.
you have an ember. Where did you get it? I hear that embers were once used in a special process to fortify weapons. But the whole art was lost long ago. Blacksmiths can't use embers anymore. Including myself, I'm afraid. Just keep it as a souvenir. I'll be around if you make it back.
Alright, let's see what kind of equip load I'll need.
Bearer of the curse, seek soul, seek the king, lest this land...
Twelves all around. That ought to do something. Still over encumbered. There we go. Now let's see if this is the 70% that I still fast roll at, or if I fat roll. Yes! Haha. Optimization. Okay. Do a quick optional area in here. One thing that I just realized there is you cannot roll if you are in a confirmation box. This guy's kind of a fun NPC. He helps out by using Cast Light. One of the things I particularly like about Dark Souls 2 versus 1 and 3 is that physical damage type actually makes a substantial amount of difference in how much damage you do to an enemy. Like, if an enemy is weak to strike, then strike does substantially more damage than slash or thrust. Whereas I feel in Dark Souls 1 and 3, a lot of times it made a little bit of a difference, but not talking huge amounts. There wasn't a lot of reward for optimizing your damage type. I love mace backstabs. They're just so over the top. I like the NPC invaders in this because they've got kind of a ludicrous amount of health, and they're just kind of fun. I don't know why he's chilling over there, just attacking my NPC ally for no good reason. They've got so much health, they're kind of like mini-bosses. That guy's total scrub, though. And much like in Dark Souls 3, every time you kill an invader, there is a chance that a seed of a tree of giants will spawn there. And those are useful for, you know, you pop those and invaders in your world can suddenly get damaged by all of the mobs, so that's fun. Whips are such fun weapons, but they're also near useless in anything other than an offhand capacity because their durability is so hilariously low. Like, if you were to use it as a primary weapon, it would break in about 10 hits. Alright, I suppose I will head... I'll head back to Hades now, do another optional area. These guys are kind of a dick. Particularly if you whiff on attacks. Oh! Yeah. I was halfway expecting that. I got sloppy. Very erratic movement. Kinda difficult to predict. Those dudes were sleeping before I killed the Dragon Rider. Oh, it's super fun when you aggro two of them. Uh, oh, damn it. Fortunately, like everything else wearing heavy armor, they are rather weak to strike damage. Yeah, I know you see me. You want to come attack me. Alright, this next part's kind of annoying because both of these enemies aggro at the same time no matter what you do. Now this guy, there's a reliable and rather funny way to kill him that I'm gonna try. Nah, you can make him jump off, which is pretty funny, but looks like gonna have to do the old stabbity death way. Fortunately, that one is super easy into baiting him into letting you backstab him. Alright, wouldn't be a Souls game without a dragon. Gotta be quick there. Fortunately, he looks scarier than he actually is. He does not have a lot of HP at all. And if you're really lucky, he'll forget that he knows how to fly. And you get a very, very cool shield out of it. That is unfortunately several units heavier, so I won't be using it just yet. And now we've got the heaviest moment of Dark Souls fan service in the game. Oh, who's that? Fortunately, he is substantially easier when he doesn't have Snorlax helping him out. He does have some super increased defense following that attack, though. He's not making the most of his attacks. Oh, there we go. See, it's different because he uses dark instead of lightning in this game. But he does drop a rather nice ring. Which again is just slightly too heavy for me right now. And this guy's gonna be a prick to me because I haven't done any co-op yet.
Transient being. This is no place for one such as you. Be gone. You are not needed.
Rude.
Transient being. Nothing has changed. You would never make a Knight of the Blue, and I have nothing more to say. Be gone. You are not needed.
Well, I mean, doesn't look like you're super needed either. All you're doing is just staring at some dumb fucking ruins. Pretentious ass. Alright, now that I've done that, going to actually finish up Hade's Tower of Flame now. One of the nice things about the Watch Dragon Parma, this shield, is that in addition to having pretty solid overall defenses, it boosts your item discovery, which is fantastic. Particularly if you ever need to farm for upgrade materials. And got the starting knight set from Dark Souls 1, which is actually quite a good overall set. It's lighter than the Elite Knight sets and has better poise. Its defenses are not as high though, so it's a little bit of trade-off. Probably my second favorite armor set in the game. Alright. This next bit is kind of the first tricky area in the game. The first time I played through it was real rough. But it's a pretty cool area. Makes good use of the lighting system. It's an entirely skippable area, but it's got a lot of good items in it, as well as an NPC merchant. Of course, he's the sorcery merchant, so he cares about intelligence, and my intelligence right now is 3. So he's not going to talk to me. Can summon my bro Bradley here. Such a nice guy, he even bows. Now, this guy is actually pretty cool, Torch Hollow. He's non-aggressive. He'll actually help you out. But he's still technically an enemy, so any summons will take him out. But if you don't have a summon with you, what he'll do is he'll carry the torch and kind of follow you and light your way so you don't have to. Just a nice touch.
I thought that might be you. You haven't changed a bit, have you? The longer I am here, the more madness I discover. A wretched place indeed, but not without traces of its former glory. What could have caused such degradation? Ah, yes. I have not thanked you for humoring me the other day. This is for you. Of course, I've no idea what it is.
That becomes so much sadder later in the story.
Our land of Mirror is surrounded by enemies and constantly at war. There is only one way up in Mirror. Join the Order and prove yourself in battle. My family had little fortune and no name. I had to carve out a piece of the world for myself. With two things. My sword and my loyalty to my lord.
Got your lord and your sword.
I was raised to wield a sword from birth. Life was hard, but I never gave it a second thought. I had swift success on the battlefield and quickly attained respectable stature. And then I came here to... Have you heard of the undead? These poor souls affected by the curse. An undead gradually loses his humanity until his wits degrade completely. Finally, he turns hollow and preys upon others. And a hollow can never be human again. One can skirt this wicked fate only with the help of the souls found here. Assuming, of course, that the legends are true, I can only hope that they are.
So yeah, it's kind of hard to see in this, but half of her face has turned hollow.
I'm sorry to burden you with talk of my fate. I suppose I've grown weary these days.
So she's starting to lose it. Yeah, shades are kind of lazy summons. They dip out pretty early. Don't stick with you. There's a greatsword up in that house, but I'm not going to use it, so I'm not going to bother grabbing it. This next section is why it's important to carry a torch. Because these guys are pretty tough enemies, but they're scared of the light. Oh no, the greatsword's in that house. There's actually another... There's nothing in the other house. Oh, that is awesome. That is probably the best bow for quality builds in the game. Has the longest range and good scaling with both strength and dex, so... That's also a pretty rare drop. Like, people will spend hours farming for it. So you pull that lever, the bell rings, and the ship starts coming to dock. One kind of cool thing is if you don't want to run all the way up here and you have iron arrows, you can actually aim and hit the bell to ring it, and the ship will come as well. It's just like the kind of attention to detail in the game that I enjoy. Now, most of these enemies are substantially harder on like a blind playthrough of this game, because right now my weapons are pretty upgraded and I'm kinda over-leveled for the area. So these guys would not be dying as easily. Got another illusory wall right here. Got one of my favorite NPCs up here.
Who are you? I, Gavlan. Gavlan wheel, Gavlan deal. Gavlan wants soul. Many, many soul. What you want? With Gavlan, you wheel, you deal.
So yeah, the Germs are the dwarves of these games. He sells poison arrows, which will be awesome later in the game when he sells an unlimited amount.
Gavlan wheel, Gavlan deal. Gavlan wants soul. What? With many deal, many thanks.
What's back there? I think repair powder and a weapon and armor set that I'm not going to use, so not going to bother. And got our shortcut.
Yo yo.
Yo yo yo.
How's this going?
Going very well. It's been fun because I've been kind of slowing down to actually let the NPCs talk and that sort of thing. There's a lot of good character development that, you know, I've missed on subsequent playthroughs. Oh shit. Forgot I didn't kill those guys. Should have kept my torch out. And is Lucatiel smart enough to run away? Yes, she is. So the Seabow is very rare. I've had 2 of them drop so far. So my only deaths so far have been due to, like, shitty trash mobs, so my luck is pretty bad. But in terms of item drops, my luck has been fantastic. How did your Breath of the Wild stream go? Your capture card working?
Pretty well.
Nice.
Yeah, capture card is working flawlessly. I love that game.
This is the boss that Murgo's Wet Nurse kind of reminded me of. If you look closely, though, these are kind of like lizard men underneath the armor.
What does flexile mean?
I'm assuming, like, sorta versatile, something like that. Because, I mean, it's 2 dudes with 2 sets of weapons, and the way he fights is kind of making use of that. I was way over-leveled for this area, though, so he died real quickly. And like all good bosses, he comes back as a standard mob later in the game.
The UI needs to be scaled down a bit.
Yeah, I've got it set to auto hide, which is good, but doesn't really do you any good in combat. So this is the other way of entering the Lost Bastille. The more obvious way, since a lot of people get stuck at the Pursuer in Forest of Fallen Giants because, well, he's definitely the hardest enemy that you encounter up until that point, and if you don't know the strategy to kind of cheese him, it can be tough. I love this, though. Just the worst guards. They're fucking drunk and asleep right now. Let's see here, how many? 21,000. I've got to say, even though this game looks like complete ass next to Bloodborne, it is so nice going back to 60 frames a second. I'm sure since this is just console potato streaming, it's only broadcasting at 30 frames a second, but it feels so smooth.
Yeah, I bet.
That's definitely what I'm looking forward to the most about Dark Souls Remastered, being able to play at 60 frames a second.
Yeah, this is 720p30.
This is a pretty good looking area, though. I really like the lighting and just the general feel.
Is this PS4?
Yeah, it is.
Is that a shard you found? Here, let me see it, so that I may help you. To see light, to see hope, however faint it might be.
Check your broadcast settings, you can actually choose the resolution and frame rate and shit.
I will take a look at that. It's going to go to audio only for a moment, but let me check. Yeah, so I think I would need to restart the stream in order to change the settings, unfortunately.
Yeah, just for next time, NBD.
And I think since I killed a red phantom, I should get a rank up in this covenant. Yeah!
I will always be here, watching over you.
Not that I'm ever going to use the blood bite ring, but it's nice to have.
Did you hear they passed 10 mil deaths in this game or something?
Oh, you can actually, this obelisk here keeps track of the total number of deaths. I'm sure PS4's probably got the most, because it's got the largest player base. Yeah, so that is 203,170,354
Seeing the
deaths.
obelisk reminded me of that.
What do I have in terms of upgrade materials? Okay, so I can upgrade some stuff.
How goes your journey? Take these. They should help a bit.
Yeah, it's a completely mediocre hammer.
Don't waste my time.
It actually does really good poise damage, though, so it's not entirely useless.
Bearer of the curse, see less.
Alright. Should be able to equip one of those sea bows now. Yeah. Alright. Anything else I want to do in this area? I have got a lot of souls. And I think that's enough to buy a ring I'll be using later.
Oh. Who are you again? No, I'm not serious. You do have a rather pleasant scent. The type I'm quite fond of.
Yes.
Satisfied? I'll be around if you ever come back.
The Lost Bastille is such a cool area in this game. You've got multiple entrances to it from completely different parts of the world. You've got... I mean, you can completely skip one of the bosses if you want to, if you go through No Man's Wharf. It's got a hidden exit to a really cool Covenant area. It's just overall one of the better designed levels in the game. It's pretty cool. Ah, yes, good old hitbox does not match visible model. Oh, but first, the pursuer shows up again. He's actually a pretty difficult enemy if you suck at parrying. Okay. Don't aggro at all, that's pretty cool. That's actually really helpful because I didn't want you to destroy that barrel. Alright, and I should be able to activate it with fire arrows. Wait, that's a poison arrow. Shit. That's a really excellent weapon, by the way, Craftsman's Hammer. It can absolutely wreck the next boss, even at just base requirements to wield.
So, I'm that ember to me. Right now, you imbecile. What a marvelous ember. You've got stones, I pray. Give me stones, and I'll fortify your gear.
So we've got Macduff, the much more competent blacksmith, who can infuse your weapons with various gems, which I don't have right now. But he's pretty cool. He also sells unlimited large titanite shards, which is nice.
Dear flame.
Kill him.
No! Why would I do that? He's super useful.
I knew you'd be around.
This isn't Bloodborne. You don't want to kill NPCs.
Nah, do it.
I'll be around if you make it back.
If you want death, I'm about to kill a boss, so you can enjoy that.
Finally followed you too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, that actually does help out a lot. I gotta get up to them 50 followers.
I didn't realize I had 1-0, not that it matters lol.
Yeah. Whatever, I enjoyed watching you stream Digimon. Oh shit. The Overseer followed me, didn't he? Oh, I'm fucked. Oh, that's the worst thing that could have happened. Okay. Whew. Crisis averted. Very short on life gems, though, now. So this is probably the funniest shortcut ever in a Souls game. You open a door and it's a bottomless pit there. But what you can actually do is there's a ledge you can drop from at the top. So you can use that to skip past all of the enemies that I just killed. It's very clever and very sort of, you know, non-orthogonal in its approach. Oh, wow. That was dumb. Alright. Yes, I do have aromatic ooze. Oof. Well, that NPC just saved me because I was sloppy with my stamina management. Hopefully she'll actually come down here and help me fight these guys. Yes, just spam Soul Arrow. Oh, fuck. Oh my god. Shit. That was stupid. See, I got sloppy because normally I power level stamina at this point in the game. Okay. One of the best improvements in Dark Souls 2 versus Dark Souls is you can pick up your souls even if you have your shield up. Oof. That was a dangerous last move I did. I don't even know why this room is here. Maybe it has a Red Phantom in New Game Plus or something like that.
Is that a shard you found? Here, to see how it...
Alright, I think I'm probably strong enough to do this next area. Might be a little tricky, but first we gotta kill everybody's favorite pursuer. Large club is such a hilarious weapon for strength builds. Alright, time to see how active PvP is in this game. Because at the soul memory I'm at right now, I should get invaded almost immediately. Oh shit, I forgot those guys do dark damage. Which means they hit like a fucking Mack truck for some reason. Alright, amazingly did not end up getting invaded. Alright. Oof, oh damn. shit. I broke the cardinal rule of this fight in that I didn't do damage exclusively to one at a time. Oh, this is not good. Shit. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, that was stupid. And I'm gonna be fighting 3 again, aren't I? Yep. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank God. Okay. Whew. Oh, oof, that was stressful. So yeah, the gimmick there is each time you do 90% damage to a gargoyle, it spawns another gargoyle. So if you don't focus on killing one at a time, you could be fighting potentially up to 7, I believe. It's 6 or 7. Also, that's supposed to be a co-op boss. Like, you are not supposed to solo it. But yeah, sort of a Nice callback to Dark Souls 1. Then immediately followed by the logical extension of Capra Demon. There we go. Whew. Alright, area finished. Time to go level up a whole lot. Oh shit, no! It's kind of hilarious how many times Pursuer invades you in Scholar of the First Sin. Oh. And that's what happens when you miss the parry. Bracing Knuckle Ring slows equipment degradation, which is actually important in this game. Only game in the series where you actually conceivably would need to use repair powder.
I was eating, but those tiny little enemies that do dark damage are so cute.
Oh, they're absolutely adorable. The Bell Keepers. They're hilarious, too. They're like little marionettes that were made by, like the prince and princess of these two opposing kingdoms. The lore behind it's just great. But yeah, oh, if you were eating, did you miss the Belfry Gargoyles fight? Where instead of fighting 2, like in Dark Souls, you have to fight 7?
Oh no, I watched it all. My hands were just dirty, so I couldn't type.
I understand that completely. I hate touching things when my hands are dirty. Alright, how much is it to reinforce the mace? 1290. Yeah, the Belfry Gargoyles is one of those fights that seems like it would be bullshit, and I can imagine if you didn't know that you were only supposed to attack one at a time, it would very rapidly seem like bullshit. But it's actually one of my favorite fights in the game. Oh man. I got the chest back here, right? Yes, I did.
By the way, why are you playing this on PS4 instead of PC?
Mostly because I like the streaming experience on PS4 a little better. Because of the way my setup is, it's comfier. Plus, the text-to-speech is amusing to me. And also, I wanted to pick it up for the PS4 anyway, because multiplayer in Souls games is most populated on PlayStation.
Oh right, forgot about the multiplayer.
Also, I ran out of save slots on both Xbox and PC, and I didn't want to fuck with doing save backups, so there you go. Man, I'm looking at Facebook group message right now, and I'm just seeing, like, notification, 99 plus. I am missing out on the conversation. I want an elevator like that.
Is that like a repurposed Iron Maiden?
I mean, it's just smart recycling. Time for the best merchant in the game.
Still a bit stiff, I'm afraid. I must thank you, young traveler. I am strayed, wandering source.
One thing about Dark Souls 1 I miss in every other Souls game, I love having individual Fear Keepers.
Oh yeah.
So much cool lore and personality in that.
Definitely true.
Very good indeed. Cursed one, weak you may be, but I, strength, will teach you my spells. Feeble cursed one. Let's hope the magnificence of my spells does not deter you.
So yeah, Strayed is cool because you can trade boss souls for weapons, which is pretty dope. But he's got some kind of interesting lore. We'll just talk with him for a minute.
How long was I sat petrified? Long enough for the old kingdom to have crumbled, I see. Why didn't anyone wake me sooner? Rang Lake. I've never heard the name. Is that what they call this place now? Very good. Very good indeed. The cursed ones were imprisoned within this land. Of course, you came of your own free will. The people fear the cursed ones like a plague. Some people would rather keep dreadful things out of sight, out of mind. In the end, they swept them up and corralled them here. So very typical of meek minds, don't you think? Once people became aware of their own frailty, they seized anybody they found undesirable, cursed or no, and impounded them here. Whoever posed even the slightest threat was removed, all so that they could sleep better at night. They even turned the great Strayed into a stone. Many kingdoms rose and fell on this tract of earth. Mine was by no means the first. Anything that has a beginning also has an end. No flame, however brilliant, does not one day splutter and fade. But then, from the ashes, the flame reignites, and a new kingdom is born, sporting a new face. It is all a curse. And it is your cursed flesh that will inherit the flame. Feeble cursed one. Do you really think you can manage the glories that are my spells?
So yeah, in addition to being a spectacular prick, Strayed also teaches you the best gesture in the game.
On Gallo L.
But yeah, that's a particularly cool little lore dump there. It's interesting to think about how many cycles occurred between Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2. So one kind of cool thing that miss in this playthrough is if you haven't already gone to Belfry Luna and killed the gargoyles, you'll see them flying over one of those towers in the center there. Gotta love that Leo ring counter hit damage. Alright. Just call me Chester Cheetah, because I'm about to be dangerously cheesy.
Oh wow, Flexile Sentry is already a regular enemy?
Oh yeah.
WTF.
Well, that's actually an interesting lore bit, because Flexile Sentry, he's one of the parties responsible for corralling undead to the Lost Bastille. So that's why he was on the boat that took you to the Lost Bastille. He's basically like a guard. But what I'm doing, because this fight is bullshit, because you're slowed by deep water, is I'm using poison arrows, which do, once it procs, 1100 poison damage. That's one of the great things about Dark Souls 2, is poison actually is worth a damn. Like, if you're co-oping this area, it's not too bad to fight them legitimately.
What is Petrify and how is it different from Curse?
Petrify is what Curse is called in Dark Souls 2. There's a separate Curse, which, if you're human, it turns you hollow, and it reduces your health, like your maximum health potential. But yeah, encounters like that are precisely why you want to carry a bow and arrow at all times. I actually like that Curse and Petrify were separate mechanics in this, because there are enemies and bosses that will curse you, and, it's not an instant death sort of thing. It just, it does make things harder. And there are always cool lore reasons for the enemies that can curse you. Like the Pursuer, if he impales you on his sword when it turns blue, he'll automatically curse you and take away like a shit ton of your max health. The final boss in the game uses curse stuff a lot. There we go. Haid Knights can be very annoying. Another thing I like about Dark Souls 2 is it gives you a reason to summon for boss fights, even if, you know, you don't need them, because it does advance NPC plot lines.
Oh, I like that. I had to roleplay that myself with Solar in DS1.
This is another cool little Easter egg. The boss that I'm gonna fight normally takes place in complete darkness, but if you find a key in the Lost Bastille and light these sconces, you don't have to do everything blind. There are actually several boss fights, and by several I mean at least 2.
Oh, I heard about this.
Yeah, there are at least 2 fights where you can make things massively easier for yourself by altering the arena in some capacity. Alright, first Lord Soul fight. Bed of Chaos bug.
EWW.
Lucatiel is such a champ in this fight. She does such a good job tanking hits. So yeah, this is normally the first Lord Soul fight that everyone does in New Game, and the last one everyone does in New Game Plus, because she has a fun trick. She actually summons Red Phantom Pyromancers during the fight to help her out on New Game Plus. Which, again, is a really cool little bit of lore there, because the Lost Sinner is basically the reincarnation of the Witch of Izalith. Come on, get her! Yeah! Lucatiel for the win! What I also like about that boss fight is there's a risk-reward bit to it, because you can actually skip the Ruin Sentinels boss fight, it's not mandatory. But if you skip the Ruin Sentinels, you don't get the Bastille Key, so therefore you cannot light those sconces.
You have acquired the soul of an old one. That is more than most undead can say. Over the hill and past the forest is the king's castle, where a man peered straight into the essence of the soul. But whatever came of it? Those who come to Dranglake seeking salvation soon lose hope and turn hollow. It happens to them all, sooner or later. That blue knight at the base of the tower, his spirit is already broken. Although he does offer sound advice. Perhaps he is a foreshadowing of your own future. That tiny thing inside the ruins. An ancient being that will mock your very existence. She imparts sound wisdom. Provided you find her on a good day.
Like all cats.
Something is weird about her face, right? I can't remember what it is.
A little bit. There's some interesting lore about the Emerald Herald, particularly her creation. But yeah, we can certainly,
Yesha's like part dragon or something, right?
That is correct.
I think I remember hearing if you like get the camera past her hair she has a weird eye or so.
Well, can certainly... gotta equip those. Oh, are the binoculars, are they actually a hand weapon in this? I've never used them, so... Yes, they are. Interesting. I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can respawn her into my favorite weight animation.
The leg kicking one?
Yeah, the cute one. She doesn't seem to want to do it right now. I think sometimes you have to reload the area. But, yeah, that pretty much covers all of the content for the first Great Soul area. And I don't want to be streaming until 4 in the morning again, like I did last night, so I am going to say goodbye
I
for
looked
tonight.
it up. Her right eye is purple.
That is pretty strange. So, thanks so much for watching. Have a good night, and I'll be back probably sometime this week.
Bye. TY for...